Good morning and welcome back to Consider the Alternative. I realize I say good morning, and it may not always be morning where you are or when you're watching this, but the way I hope that you would do the workbook would be to read it first thing in the morning, even set yourself up on some sort of schedule where, okay, I'm going to get up an hour earlier every single day for this whole year before work or whatever and do my lesson. Uh, the first time I went through the workbook, I was actually getting up at 4:30 in the morning and doing the lesson and reading and then getting my day started. So that's why I always say good morning. That being said, thank you for joining us. We're moving on to Chapter 2 and Lesson 8, the separation and the atonement. 1. The origins of separation. To extend is a fundamental aspect of God which he gave to his Son. In the creation, God extended himself to his creations and imbued them with the same loving will to create. You have not only been fully created, but have also been created perfect. There is no emptiness in you. Because of your likeness to your Creator, you are creative. No child of God can lose this ability because it is inherent in what he is, but he can use it inappropriately by projecting. The inappropriate use of extension or projection occurs when you believe that some emptiness or lack exists in you and that you can fill it with your own ideas instead of truth. This process involves the following steps. First, you believe that what God created can be changed by your own mind. Second, you believe that what is perfect can be rendered imperfect or lacking. Third, you believe that you can distort the creations of God, including yourself. Fourth, you believe that you can create yourself and that the direction of your own creation is up to you. These related distortions represent a picture of what actually occurred in the separation or the detour into fear. None of this existed before the separation, nor does it actually exist now. Everything God created is like him. Extension, as undertaken by God, is similar to the inner radiance that the children of the Father inherit from him. Its real source is internal. This is as true of the Son as of the Father. In the sense of the creation, in this sense, the creation includes both the creation of the Son by the God and the Son's creations when his mind is healed. This requires God's endowment of the Son with free will, because all loving creation is freely given in one continuous line in which all aspects are of the same order. The Garden of Eden, or the pre-separation condition, was a state of mind in which nothing was needed. When Adam listened to the lies of the serpent, all he heard was untruth. You do not have to continue to believe what is not true unless you choose to do so. All that can literally disappear in the twinkling of an eye because it is merely a misperception. What is seen in dreams seems to be very real. Yet, the Bible says that a deep sleep fell upon Adam, and nowhere is there reference to his waking up. The world has not yet experienced any comprehensive reawakening or rebirth. Such a rebirth is impossible as long as you continue to project or miscreate. It still remains within you, however, to extend as God extended his Spirit to you. In reality, this is your only choice, because your free will was given you for your joy in creating the perfect. Because your free will was given you for your joy in creating the perfect. All fear is ultimately reducible to the basic misperception that you have the ability to usurp the power of God. Of course, you neither can nor have been able to do this. Here's the real basis for your escape from fear. The escape is brought about by your acceptance of the atonement, which enables you to realize that your errors never really occurred. Only after the deep sleep fell upon Adam could he experience nightmares. If a light is suddenly turned on while someone is dreaming a fearful dream, he may initially interpret the light itself as part of his dream and be afraid of it. However, when he awakens, the light is correctly perceived as the release from the dream, which is then no longer accorded reality. This release does not depend on illusions. The knowledge that illuminates not only sets you free, but also shows you clearly that you are free. Whatever lies you may believe are of no concern to the miracle, which can heal any of them with equal ease. It makes no distinctions among misperceptions. The miracle makes no distinctions among misperceptions. Its sole concern is to distinguish between truth on the one hand and error on the other. Some miracles may seem to be of greater magnitude than others, but remember the first principle in the Course. There is no order of difficulty in miracles. In reality, you are perfectly unaffected by all expressions of lack of love. These can be from yourself and others, from yourself to others, or from others to you. Peace is an attribute in you. You cannot find it outside. Illness is some form of external searching. Health is inner peace. It enables you to remain unshaken by lack of love from without and capable. Health is inner peace. It enables you to remain unshaken by lack of love from without and capable through your acceptance of miracles of correcting the conditions proceeding from lack of love in others. That was kind of hard to read and kind of hard to understand. All right, anyway, I'm going to move on. I hope if you found anything interesting in any of the text, you go back and study it. Take note of the parts that really stand out to you. Okay. Lesson 8. Having some tea. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. This idea, of course, the reason why you only see the past. No one really sees anything. He sees only his thoughts projected outward. The mind's preoccupation with the past is the cause of the misconception about time from which your seeing suffers. Your mind cannot grasp the present, which is only time there is. It therefore cannot understand time. It cannot, in fact, understand anything. The one wholly true thought one can hold about the past is that it is not there. To think about it at all is therefore to think about illusions. Very few have realized what is actually entailed in picturing the past or in anticipating the future. The mind is actually blank when it does this because it is not really thinking about anything. The purpose of the exercises for today is to begin to train your mind to recognize when it is not really thinking at all. While thoughtless ideas preoccupy your mind, the truth is blocked. Recognizing that your mind has been merely blank rather than believing that it is filled with real ideas is the first step to opening the way to vision. The exercises for today should be done with eyes closed. This is because you actually cannot see anything, and it is easier to recognize that no matter how vividly you may picture a thought, you are not seeing anything. With as little as investment as possible, search your mind for the usual minute or so, merely noting the thoughts you find there. Name each one by the central figure or theme it contains and pass on to the next. Introduce the practice period by saying, I seem to be thinking about blank. Then name each of your thoughts specifically. For example, I seem to be thinking about name of a person, about name of an object, about name of an emotion, and so on, concluding at the end of the mind searching period with, but my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. This can be done 4 or 5 times during the day, unless you find it irritates you. If you find it trying, 3 or 4 times is sufficient. You might find it helpful, however, to include your irritation or any emotion that the idea for today may induce in the mind searching itself. Okay, 4 or 5 practice periods today. I seem to be thinking about, after your 1 minute of mind searching, with eyes closed, I seem to be thinking about, but my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. So use your alarm. Try to remind yourself at least 3 or 4 times today to go over this lesson. I don't want to make this hard for anybody, but if you're like me, you can keep this thought on your mind all day long and apply it to everything that happens throughout the whole day. Or you can do your 4 or 5 practice periods. So, lesson 8, my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. This ties into lesson 7, I see only the past, and lesson 7 ties into the first 6 lessons, which is all a product of seeing only the past. Now we bring the mind back in to recognize that it is the actual the mind is what actually is creating these past thoughts. So what we're trying to do here is just recognize that if we see only the past, now we can recognize that our mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. And again, nothing is special. Everything is included because your mind is what was created, eternal and like God, creative and loving. Your mind is. So it's your mind who got sidetracked into a detour of fear. All right. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Hi, before I go, I wanted to say as a reminder to keep the lesson fresh in the front of your mind throughout the day. This is what I did last time I did it, and I may or may not do it again, but I made an example to show you. So I just edited a photo and put text on it. Last time I did it, I used Adobe Express. I don't know if I had a subscription for that or what, but I just made a quick example. You could do it in your Photos app, I'm pretty sure. But I just put it on my wallpaper, and I tend to look at it fairly often through the day, so it's helpful to keep it fresh. I love you. I will see you tomorrow.